From the book, What is Real Rebellion by Osho. From the chapter, You Are Born with Courage. Sometimes, after an experience of meditation, I feel tremendously good and bright, and then I'm afraid to get influenced again by people so that I fall back again into my old mind. Can you say something about energies and experiences and how we can move in the marketplace without getting influenced by other people who have not such good energy? The most basic thing to remember is that when you're feeling good, in a mood of ecstasy, don't start thinking that it is going to be your permanent state. Live the moment as joyfully, as cheerfully as possible, knowing perfectly well that it has come and it will go. Just like breeze comes in your house with all its fragrance and freshness and goes out from the other door. This is the most fundamental thing. If you start thinking in terms of making your ecstatic moments permanent, you have already started destroying them. When they come, be grateful. When they leave, be thankful to existence. Remain open. It will happen many times. Don't be judgmental. Don't be a chooser. Remain choiceless. Yes, there will be moments when you will be miserable. So what? There are people who are miserable and who have not even known a single moment of ecstasy. You are fortunate. Even in your misery, remember that it is not going to be permanent. It will also pass away. So don't get too disturbed by it. Remain at ease. Just like day and night, there are moments of joy and there are moments of sadness. Accept them as part of the duality of nature. As the very way things are, you are simply a watcher. Neither do you become happiness, nor do you become misery. Happiness comes and goes. Misery comes and goes. One thing remains always there, always and always, and that is the watcher, one who witnesses. Slowly get more and more centered into the watcher. Days will come and nights will come. Lives will come and deaths will come. Success will come, failure will come. But if you are centered in the watcher, because that is the only reality in you, everything is a passing phenomenon. Just for a moment, try to feel what I am saying. Just be a watcher. Do not cling to any moment because it is beautiful, and do not push any moment away because it is miserable. Stop doing that. That you have been doing for lives. You have not been successful yet, and you will never be successful, ever. The only way to go beyond, to remain beyond, is to find a place from where you can watch all these changing phenomena without getting identified. I will tell you an ancient Sufi story. A king asked his wise men in the court, I am making a very beautiful ring for myself. I have one of the best diamonds possible. I want to keep hidden inside the ring some message that may be helpful to me in a time of utter despair. It has to be very small so that it can be hidden underneath the diamond in the ring. They were all wise men. They were great scholars. They could have written great treatises, but to give him a message of not more than 2 or 3 words which would help him in moments of utter despair, they looked into their books, but they could not find anything. The king had an old servant who was almost like his father. He had been his father's servant. The king's mother had died early, and this servant had taken care of him. So he was not treated like a servant. The king had immense respect for him. The old man said, I am not a wise man, knowledgeable, scholarly, but I know the message, because there is only one message, and these people cannot give it to you. It can be given only by a mystic, by a man who has realized himself. In my long life in the palace, I have come across all kinds of people, and once a mystic. He had also been a guest of your father, and I was put into his service. When he was departing, as a gesture of thankfulness for all my services, he gave me this message. And the old man wrote it on a small piece of paper. He folded it and told the king, don't read it, Just keep it hidden in the ring. Only open it when everything else has failed, when there is no way out. The time came soon. The country was invaded, and the king lost his kingdom. He was running away on his horse just to save his life, and the enemy horses were following him. He was alone. There were many. He came to a place where the path stopped, came to a dead end. There was only a cliff and a deep valley. To fall into it was to be finished. He could not go back. The enemy was there. He could hear the sound of hooves of the horses. He could not go forward, and there was no other way. Suddenly he remembered the ring. He opened it, took out the paper, and there was a small message of tremendous value. It simply said, "This too will pass." A great silence came over him as he read the sentence, "This too will pass." And it passed. Everything passes away. Nothing remains in this world. The enemies who were following him must have got lost in the forest, must have taken a different path. The sound of the hooves of their horses faded slowly, and then could not be heard anymore. The king was immensely grateful to the servant and to the unknown mystic. Those words proved miraculous. He folded the paper, put it back into the ring, gathered his armies again, and reconquered his kingdom. And the day he was entering his capital, victorious, there was a great celebration all over the capital. Music, dance. He was feeling very proud of himself. The old man was there and was walking by the side of his chariot. He said to the king, "This time is also right. Look again at the message." The king said, "What do you mean? Now I am victorious. People are celebrating. I am not in despair. I am not in a situation where there is no way out." The old man said, "Listen, this is what the saint has said to me. This message is not only for despair, it is also for pleasure. This is not only for when you're defeated, it is also for when you are victorious. Not only when you are last, but also when you are first." And the king opened the ring and read the message, "This too will pass." And suddenly, the same peace, the same silence amidst the crowds jubilating, celebrating, dancing. But the pride, the ego was gone. Everything passes away. The king asked his old servant to come on the chariot and sit with him. He asked, "Is there anything more?" "Everything passes away. Your message has been immensely helpful." The old man said, "The third thing the saint said, remember, everything passes. Only you remain. You remain forever as a witness. So this is the answer to your question. Everything passes, but you remain. You are the reality. Everything else is just a dream. Beautiful dreams are there. Nightmares are there. But it does not matter whether it is a beautiful dream or a nightmare. What matters is the one who is seeing the dream. That seer is the only reality.